Jadeveon Clowney and Johnny Manziel, two players who took two very different paths out of high school to become elite college football players, ultimately set to share the same stage at the NFL Draft. I'm Ray Crawford, and we're going back to the days of proms and letter jackets. Prep players about to turn pro, or at least they hope so. Here to help us, our recruiting insider, Trieu from Scout.com. And Alan, we couldn't call this segment before they were stars because Clowney has always been a star. How rare is his journey?
Extremely rare. First of all, you don't often see high school recruits as a consensus number one guy. There's always, a little bit of discussion as to who's number one across the different services. Clowney was the unanimous guy, and you don't often see that guy go wire to wire and end up as the number one pick in the NFL draft. So if he indeed becomes the number one pick tomorrow night, that is an extremely rare feat. Only a few guys have done it. Adrian Peterson is a guy who springs to mind, but it is certainly very, very unusual for a guy to be the number one recruit out of high school and then go number one in the draft.
So completely different stories for Johnny Manziel when it comes to him. Recruited very little out of high school. What challenges did he face coming out of high school, and how is he continuing to overcome his doubters?
Well, he was a great high school player, much like he was in college, a great playmaker, made a lot of plays on the move. I think people question whether or not he would be able to translate those things from high school to the major college level with his size and that sandlot style of play. And those same questions still follow him as he's going into the NFL draft, but obviously he's proven he can do it at the BCS level. That's why he's going to be a number one pick tomorrow night.
So clearly Manziel exceeded expectations coming out of high school. Who else would you put there among the overachievers?
Khalil Mack, without a doubt, he was a guy who had only one scholarship offer, Buffalo. That was the one he took. Didn't have it until late in his senior year. Probably would have been a 1AA guy or a walk-on had Buffalo not come through with the offer. Tomorrow night, he's probably going to be a top 5 pick. So he's certainly exceeded expectations by miles and miles.
But for every story, though, of a guy who worked hard to make himself better, there are those that didn't live up to the hype. Who would you rank among those who have underachieved?
Chantrell Henderson was a guy everybody thought would be a potential number one overall pick, surefire NFL draft pick. He had the size, athleticism. All of those things are still there today. He did very well in his combine workout, but I think there's some off-the-field questions, there's some effort questions, and those things have slid him into possibly the middle part of the draft. Not the surefire, all-world type guy he was projected to be coming out of high school.
All right, Trieu of Scout.com, thanks very much for the insight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Ray.
As for basketball, John Calipari is at it again. Has he recruited the best front court in Kentucky history? Check out that discussion on CampusInsiders.com.